I declare the opening of the Special Council meeting at 6 p.m. Good evening, councillors, staff, ladies and gentlemen. This meeting is being held today on Wajak Noongar Budja, and I'd like to acknowledge and pay my respects to elders past, present and future. I thank all past and present members of the community that have supported the city to better understand and value Noongar culture within the city of Wanneroo. And I invite you to bow your head in prayer. Lord, we thank you for blessing our city, our community and our council. Guide us all in our decision-making to act fairly, without fear or favour, with compassion, integrity, wisdom and honesty. May we show true leadership, be inclusive of all and guide all of the city's people and many families to a prosperous future that all may share. We ask this in your name. Amen. Please note that the audio-visual proceedings of tonight's meeting will be live broadcast online, with the exception of matters discussed behind closed doors. The broadcast of the proceedings of the meeting can be accessed live and on demand through the City of Wanneroo YouTube channel. Tonight, we don't have any requests for electronic attendance. Apologies and leave of absence. We have no apologies. Do we have any requests for leave of absence? If we have no requests for leave of absence, we now go to public question and statement time. Do we have any questions? Okay. We do have people in the gallery, so I'll read this. Following general rules apply to the public question and statement time. Public questions and statements should only relate to the business of the local government and not be a personal statement or opinion. Only questions relating to matters affecting the local government will be considered at a council meeting, and only questions that relate to the purpose of the meeting will be considered at a special council meeting. Questions may be taken on notice and responded to after the meeting. Questions may not be directed at specific council members or a city employee. Questions are not to be framed in such a way as to reflect adversely on a particular council member or a city employee. First priority will be given to persons who are asking questions relating to items on the current council meeting agenda, and second priority will be given to public statements. Only public statements regarding items on the council agenda under consideration will be heard. Each person seeking to ask questions or make a statement may address the council for a maximum of 3 minutes each. Are there any public questions from the attendees at tonight's meeting? Anyone in the gallery want to ask a public question? Okay, so there are no public questions in the gallery. Item 4, reports. Any declarations of interest by council members, including the nature and extent of which the interest are to be made at the commencement of the item to which the interest relates. Declarations of interest forms are to be completed and handed to the Chief Executive Officer. Election of the Deputy Mayor. We have received nominations for Deputy Mayor prior to the meeting from Councillor Paul Miles, Councillor Hugh Newen and Councillor Bronwyn Smith. This item on tonight's agenda will be run in accordance with Schedule 2.3 and Schedule 4.1 of the Local Government Act 1995. I will now hand over to the CEO, who will conduct the election in accordance with the provisions of the Act and the associated regulations. Thank you, Mr CEO.
Thank you, Mayor. As advised by the Mayor, we have received 3 nominations for the position of Deputy Mayor. I now call for any final nominations, and in accordance with Schedule 2.3 Division 2 Clause 8 of the Local Government Act 1995, nominations for the position will close at 5 minutes past 6. Do we have any final nominations for the position in addition to those 3? We have an extra nomination from Councillor Newen. Are there any further nominations for the position? Nominations for the position of Deputy Mayor have now closed. We will now draw out the names of the nominees in the order in which they are to appear on the ballot paper. Thanks, councillors. The other thing, councillors, that I'll just note is that Nolene Jennings will be the scrutineer for the election. So, Nolene, if you could please come forward and support the team and make sure everything's done in accordance with the Act and regs. Thank you, councillors. Ready to announce the result. So in accordance with Regulation 11F of the Local Government Constitution Regulations 1998, I confirm the following nominations were received for the office of Deputy Mayor. Councillor Paul Miles, Councillor Hugh Newen, Councillor Bronwyn Smith and Councillor Vin Newen. The name of the successful candidate declared is Councillor Paul Miles with 9 votes, with their term of office ending on the 16th of October 2027.
And I will now officiate the swearing in of Deputy Mayor of the City of Wanneroo in accordance with Section 2.29 of the Local Government Act, and I'd like to invite Councillor Paul Miles to come forward and to participate in the declaration process.
It's the South Ward councillors.
Congratulations to Deputy Mayor Miles. And thank you, former Deputy Mayor Rowe, for your service over the last 2 years as well. The remainder of the items on tonight's agenda will be run via optional preferential voting to determine who from the candidates nominated will be put onto council for council's decision where there are more nominations than vacant spots in the first instance. The optional preferential voting system is used in accordance with Schedule 4.1 of the Local Government Act 1995. Optional preferential voting is similar to the way you vote in state and federal elections. However, you do not have to assign every candidate with your preference. You can vote for one, some or all candidates on the ballot paper. If a candidate is successful in reaching the quota, the surplus votes over the quota will be redistributed. Your vote will be redistributed to your next preference on the ballot paper. This process will continue for any candidates with surplus votes. Where there are no successful candidates, the candidate with the least votes will be excluded and votes redistributed. Ballot papers will be distributed to each councillor for each round of voting as required. The names of each candidate nominating for the position will be included on the ballot paper, and you have the option to vote for one, some or all of the candidates on the ballot paper. For each complete report, when all votes have been counted and the preferred candidates chosen, a final vote for the whole motion will be undertaken via the electronic voting system. For council members to be elected to a committee of council, an absolute majority must vote in favour. For election to or working groups or advisory groups and external committees, a simple majority is sufficient. We will go through the recommendation of each agenda item and provide council members a further opportunity to nominate for each of the committees or groups. When going through, we will identify for council members those that ballots will need to be drawn and those which have received the required number of nominations. So we're now going to item SCEO2 1025, appointments of delegates and deputy delegates to external councils, groups, committees and boards. The recommendation is, first of all, pursuant to Regulation 26 of the Planning and Development Assessment Panels Regulations 2011, nominates the following council member as deputy delegate to the Metro Outer Development Assessment Panel to replace former council member Natalie Herridge, to take effect from the 28th of October 2025 to the 26th of January 2026, and advises the Minister for Planning and Lands, Housing and Works, Health Infrastructure, the Honourable John Carey, MLA. At this point in time, we have no nominations for this position for this period of time. Do we have any nominations for this one deputy delegate? Yes, Councillor Smith.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm just thinking, because whoever does DAP needs to have training first. Is there training available by the group before January, which is normally the time of the new intake? I guess my second follow-up question is, if there's nothing scheduled or easily done by the group, do we need to put a deputy, because we've got another deputy, if that makes sense, and two main delegates until January? Thank you.
Ms Platt.
Thank you, Mayor. The deputy delegates for this committee this panel are assigned to a specific person. So former councillor Herridge was deputy to yourself, Councillor Smith. So in that instance, there wouldn't be a deputy in the event that you weren't able to attend. I do take on board your comments in relation to training, and this appointment would only be for 3 months because, as you'll see on the next item, it is for the full 2-year appointment.
So therefore I repeat my question, is there any councillor, are you nominating Councillor Figg? Okay, Councillor Figg. Councillor Newen, do you want to nominate as well? Okay, if there are no other nominations from the floor, Councillor Figg will be on this for the next 2 months. We now go to item 2 of this recommendation, which is pursuant to Regulation 26 of the Planning and Development Assessment Panels, Regulations 2011, nominates the following council members to the Metro Outer Development Assessment Panel to take effect from the 27th of January 2026 to the 26th of January 2028, and advises the Minister for Planning and Lands, Housing and Works and Health Infrastructure, the Honourable John Carey, MLA. So we've received a nomination from Councillor Smith. We've also received a deputy local member nomination from Councillor Smith and Councillor Coetzee. Do we have any other nominations for this from the wall? We have Councillor Huntley. Is that for local member or deputy local member? Local member. Who did you email them to foot to? I actually came down and handed them in. Oh, okay.
Yeah, my apologies.
Okay. Councillor Newen and Councillor Seif. Councillor Newen, do you want to run for local member or deputy local member?
Local member, thank you.
Councillor Seif? And anyone from this side? Councillor Vin Newen? Yeah. And anyone else for the local member role? Do I have any other councillors wanting to run for... We will do the local member role first. Do you want your names up for the deputy local member so that we can get the 2 ballots together? We'll fill them after. Okay. That's right. So because we're going to have a ballot for this one, we will actually go through all of these items, and for any of the items we don't need a ballot, and then we'll come back and have a ballot there. So for item 3, appoints the following council members to external councils as per the terms of reference. A Mindarie Regional Council. We have 2 delegates for Mindarie Regional Council positions. We have a nomination from Councillor Bedworth and Councillor Wright. Are there any other nominations for Mindarie Regional Council? Councillor Hugh Newen. Any other nominations for that? Councillor Vin Newen. Okay, we now go to Catalina Regional Council. We've had nominations from Councillor Berry and Councillor Coetzee. Do we have any other nominations from the floor? Councillor Parker for this one. Any other nominations? Councillor Hugh Newen. Any other nominations from the floor? Councillor Vin Newen. Any other nominations from the floor for Catalina Regional Council? Okay, we now go to the appoints council members to the Western Australian Local Government Association North Metropolitan Zone as per the terms of reference. As for delegate, we have 4 delegates, and we have received nominations for delegate from Councillor Smith, Councillor Huntley and Councillor Figg. Are there any nominations for delegate to West Australian Local Government Association North Metropolitan? So that's Councillor Seif. Are there any other nominations? Councillor Rowe. Any other nominations for delegate? If there are no other nominations for delegate, that because there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 nominations and there's 4 positions, that will have to go to a ballot. Item 5 appoints the following council members to external committees, groups and boards as per their terms of reference. Joondalup Health Campus Community Board of Advice Committee. A nomination has been received from Councillor Smith. Are there any other nominations from the floor? Councillor Seif. Any other nominations from this board? Councillor Hugh Newen. Any other nominations? Councillor Vin Newen. Any other nominations for the Joondalup Community Health Campus Community Board of Advice? If there are no other nominations, that will need to go to a ballot. We've got the North West Regional Road Subgroup. A delegate nomination has been received for Councillor Bedworth. Do we have any other nominations for delegate for North West Regional Road Subgroup? If there are no other delegates for that, I put Councillor Bedworth in. Sorry? And we now also need a deputy for that. Are there any councillors who would want to be a deputy for the North West Regional Road Subgroup? Councillor Parker and Councillor Parker. So if there's no one else, Councillor Parker is the deputy delegate. We now go to Wanneroo District's Historical Society for delegate for that. Do we have a delegate for the Wanneroo Districts and Historical Society? Councillor Seif. Any other councillors wanting to run for delegate? There are no other councillors wanting to run for delegate. Councillor Seif is delegate for the Wanneroo and Districts Historical Society. Do we have a deputy delegate? Councillor Miles? Yep. Yeah, I can do it as well. I've done it before, but yeah, we'll do Councillor Miles. So that's good. So for the Wanneroo and Districts Historical Society, the delegate is Councillor Seif, the deputy delegate is Councillor Miles. Sorry? Oh, Deputy Mayor. Sorry. So for the Wanneroo Local Emergency Management Committee and North West District Emergency Management Committee with automatic appointment to City of Wanneroo Bushfire Advisory Committee, there have been 3 nominations received for this, one from myself, one from Councillor Bedworth and Councillor Huntley. Are there any other nominations for the delegate position? Yes, Councillor Bedworth.
If I could withdraw from delegate and put myself in for deputy delegate, that would be appreciated.
Deputy delegates. If there are no other deputy delegates, I'll put Councillor Bedworth in as deputy delegate, and we will have to have a vote for the delegate for this committee. So, no. It's going from this committee is on the Bushfire Committee. Yeah. Okay, now for Yellowgonga Regional Park Community Advisory Committee, we have 1 delegate. We've received nominations from Councillor Huntley and Councillor Wright. And so that will have to... Councillor Wright?
Withdrawing that one.
Okay, so we have a nomination received from Councillor Huntley. Are there any other nominations from the floor? If there are no other nominations from the floor, we'll put Councillor Huntley on that committee. So we now go back to item 2. Pursuant to the Regulation 26 of the Planning and Development Assessment Panel's Regulations 2011 nominates the following council members to the Metro Outer Development Assessment Panel to take effect from the 27th of January 2026 to the 26th of January 2028. We have local member nominations from Councillor Smith, Councillor Huntley, Councillor Newen, Councillor Hugh Newen and Councillor Seif and Councillor Vin Newen. So this will go to a ballot. Councillors, we're going to draw names and do the ballot for Joondalup Health Campus while we're waiting for the other ones to be done. So for Joondalup Health Campus Board of Advice, we've received a nomination from Councillor Smith, Councillor Seif, Councillor Hugh Newen and Councillor Vin Newen. Page 9 of 21, item 5A. Well, that was... Sorry, I've been advised we have to do item 3, which is appoints the following council members to external councils as per terms of reference. Mindari Regional Council with automatic appointment to City of Wanneroo Waste Avoidance and Resource Recovery Advisory Committee. The councillors that have nominated for that is Councillor Bedworth, Councillor Wright, Councillor Hugh Newen and Councillor Vin Newen. So we will work out the order of the ballot for that so that we can get that ballot printed as well. Thank you.
Okay, councillors, I'm very sorry that took a bit longer, but once I explain this to you, it will probably make sense. So we had Councillor Smith receive the most amount of votes, so Councillor Smith's name will go at the top of the list for that particular vacancy. After the distribution of preferences, we had a tie between Councillor Huntley and Councillor Seif, and the way to basically create the deadlock there is to draw a name essentially out of a hat between those two. So the name that I draw out between those two will be the second delegate that sits on that committee.
Could be Parks and Recreation.
So the name that I draw out will be the person that's representing two committees, the delegate, and that is Councillor Jackie Hunt.
Okay, we on this committee, we have for the deputy local members, we have Councillor Coetzee has nominated for local member, a deputy local member. Councillor Seif, would you like to nominate for deputy on this committee or not? Okay, do I have a second deputy or any nominations from the floor for deputy for this committee? Councillor Van Nguyen, any other nominations? Councillor Seif? Okay, so that means we now go to a ballot. So between Councillor Coetzee, Councillor Van Nguyen and Councillor Seif for the deputy local members on the JDAP. Yes, Councillor Coetzee? Sorry? Okay, thank you. So we'll draw those papers for the order on the ballot for the deputy for the JDAPs. So, councillors, this is the first time we're doing this kind of voting system. So we're happy to have positive feedback to make it run smoother in the future. But we remember last year we had problems with the electronic voting and we had people voting twice. And so therefore this is, and it also means we don't know how each other is finally voting, which makes it truly anonymous, which I think is better. But we're very happy to have positive feedback to make it better for next year, okay? Thank you. I just thought I'd put that there so everyone knew. Should I say constructive feedback? So we'll go back to the deputy local members for JDATs, but we are getting the papers ready for the ballot now for Mindarie Regional Council. And so they are coming around now for us to vote on Mindarie Regional Council, which is item 3A. Thank you, councillors.
Okay, councillors, in relation to the poll that we've just run for the Mindari Regional Council, we have Councillor Wright and Councillor Bedworth who have been elected to those positions.
We'll now go back to the deputy position for the JDAPs, and that will come around to you now, councillors, to vote on. Thank you.
That's right.
Let's see. Councillor Nguyen has withdrawn from the JDAP ballots, so the deputy members for the JDAP group will be Councillor Coetzee and Councillor Seif. We now go to I didn't get given one. I get mine last. Yep, so we're now going to Catalina Regional Council. Delegate nominations were received from Councillor Berry, Councillor Coetzee, Councillor Parker, Councillor Hugh Nguyen and Councillor Vin Nguyen. So for delegates, we will need to go to a vote before we go to deputy delegates. So councillors, so we'll go through the formal ballot proceedings. Thank you. Okay, so while we're waiting for those to be print, we'll just go to item 4, appoints the following council members to the Western Australian Local Government Association North Metropolitan Zone as per terms of reference. We'll be going with delegates first, and we've had delegate nominations. There are 4 positions. We've had delegate nominations from Councillor Smith, Councillor Hunkley, Councillor Figg, Councillor Seif and Councillor Rowe. So that will need to go to a ballot because we've got 5 councillors for one position. For 4 positions. Yep. 5 councillors for 4 delegate positions. We've received the ballots for Catalina Regional Council, so they will be distributed now after they've been signed by the CEO and witnessed by the scrutineer.
Councillors, just an update on the Catalina Regional Council. So with the most amount of votes was Councillor Coetzee. Then we had, after the distribution of preferences, we had a tie between Councillor Parker and Councillor Berry. So a bit like last time, I would go and draw one of those from the hat. So the name that I call out will be the successful member, Councillor Parker, first, Berry second, Councillor Parker.
So now we need 2 deputy delegates for Catalina Regional Council. Do we have any nominations from the floor for deputy delegate? Councillor Berry, any other nominations from the floor for deputy delegate for Catalina Regional Council? Deputy Mayor Rowe? Sorry, councillor. So between you and Paul, you're the deputy now, so okay, James, I'll put down Councillor Berry and Councillor Rowe. And if there are no other nominations from the floor, that will settle that one. So you're nominating for the deputy. If you're nominating for the deputy, we need to go.
I'll withdraw.
Okay, so Councillor Hugh Newen is the deputy. So we're now going to vote on the Walga Association North Metropolitan Zone as the delegates. We have 5 candidates and 4 positions. Can we do the ballot draw for Joondalup Health Campus while we're waiting? We have 1 position on Joondalup Health Campus and we have 3 nominations, which is Councillor Seave, Councillor Hugh Newen and Councillor Vin Newen. Oh, and Councillor Smith as well. Sorry, there's 4.
So we've got Joondalup Health Campus.
Smith, Seave, Hugh Newen and Vin Newen.
I got that. Councillor Smith is the first one in. Councillor Seave. Second one in. Councillor Newen, third one in. Councillor Newen, fourth one in. Councillor Hugh Newen. Councillor Vin Newen. Councillor Bronwyn Smith.
So the papers are now being handed out for the Western Australian Local Government Association North Metropolitan Zone for the delegates for this committee. Thank you.
Okay, councillors, in terms of the North Metro Zone, again, we have a tie for the distribution towards the end of that count. However, we have Councillor Rowe, who was the first councillor elected, followed by Councillor Seif. We then had a three-way tie, so we'll be putting the votes of Councillor Smith, Councillor Huntley, Councillor Figg into a hat, drawing 2 for who gets those positions. Two that I draw out will be the councillors appointed to the Wellington Zone, Councillor Smith, and Councillor Figg. Smith and Figg.
So, councillors, as delegates for Walga, we have Councillor Rowe, Councillor Seif and Councillor Figg. We now need 4 deputy delegates. Do I have nominations from the floor for deputy delegates? So, Councillor, who missed? Councillor Huntley, would you like to be deputy delegate? Councillor Bedworth would like to be a deputy delegate. There's another 2 spots for deputy delegate. Okay, sorry, I got Councillor Bedworth. And then, sorry, another 2, Councillor Wright and Councillor Moore. So are there any other councillors? Because if we other councillors, we have to go to a ballot. If there are no other councillors, that's good, it's settled. We now are going to the Joondalup Health Campus Community Board of Advice. The ballots are about to come through now. We have 4 nominations and we will be voting on that now. Thank you. The finger stools. Oh, sorry. Councillors, we're going to do the ballot box draw on the Wanneroo Joondalup Local Emergency Management Committee, and the nominations for the delegate is myself and Councillor Huntley. Thank you.
Okay, councillors, in terms of the Joondalup Health Campus Advisory Committee Board, Councillor Elisa, Councillor Seif has been nominated for that position. Sorry, I had a mind blank there.
We're now distributing the ballot papers for the Wanneroo Joondalup Local Emergency Management Committee and North West District Emergency Management Committee. And there's 2 candidates for that, and the ballot papers are coming around now. It's Councillor Huntley and myself.
Mayor Linda Aitken has been appointed to that committee, being the Wanneroo Joondalup Local Emergency Management Committee. Over to you, Mayor.
So now for item SCEO2 1025, I need a mover and seconder. So going through it, I will go through everyone on the committees one last time and then ask for a mover and seconder and then a vote. So pursuant to Regulation 26 of Planning and Development Assessment Panels, Regulation 211 nominates Councillor Figg as Deputy Delegate to the Metro Development Assessment Panel to replace former Council Member Natalie Herridge to take effect from the 28th of October to the 2025 to the 26th of January 2026, and advises the Minister for Planning and Lands, Housing and Works, Health Infrastructure, the Honourable John Carey MLA. Then item 2, pursuant to Regulation 26 of the Planning and Development Assessment Panels Regulation 2011, nominates the following council members to the Metro Outer Development Assessment Panel to take effect from the 27th of January 2026 to the 26th of January 2028. And that is 2 local members, which is Councillor Smith and Councillor Huntley, and 2 deputy local members, Councillor Coetzee and Councillor Seif. Item 3, appoints the following council members to external councils as per their terms of reference. A, the Mindarie Regional Council with automatic appointment to City of Wanneroo Waste Avoidance and Resource Recovery Advisory Committee, Councillor Wright and Councillor Bedworth. To the Catalina Regional Council, we have 2 delegates, Councillor Coetzee, Councillor Parker. We have 2 deputy delegates, Councillor Berry and Councillor Hugh Newen. We go to the appoints the following council members to the Western Australian Local Government Association North Metropolitan Zone as per their terms of reference. The 4 delegates are Councillor Rowe, Councillor Seif, Councillor Smith and Councillor Figg. The 4 deputy delegates are Councillor Huntley, Councillor Bedworth, Councillor Wright and Councillor Moore. Item 5, appoints the following council members to external committees, groups and boards as per their terms of reference. Joondalup Health Campus Community Board of Advice Committee, Councillor Seif. Northwest Regional Road Subgroup, Councillor Bedworth, and the Deputy Delegate is Councillor Parker. For the Wanneroo District's Historical Society, we have Councillor Seif and a Deputy Delegate, Councillor Miles. For the Wanneroo Joondalup Local Emergency Management Committee and Northwest District Emergency Management Committee with automatic appointment to the City of Wanneroo Bushfire Advisory Committee, 1 delegate, myself, Mayor Aitken, and 1 deputy delegate, Councillor Bedworth. For the Yellowgonga Park Community Advisory Committee, we have 1 delegate, Councillor Huntley. And this item 6 confirms that all appointments remain in effect until the next ordinary local government election day, being the 16th of October 2027, unless otherwise indicated. Do I have a mover and seconder for this? Moved Deputy Mayor Miles and seconded Councillor Wright. Do I have any speakers for or against this? If there are no speakers for or against this, councillors, please cast your vote on SCEO2 1025. That says alternative. There's no alternative or amendment on it. Councillor Hugh Newen's gone home. We need to wait for him to come back and vote. Well, we don't, but we really should, shouldn't we? Okay, it's past 14 for 14 people in the room. We now go to SCEO3 1025. We do have an amendment to this. Did you want to speak to that amendment now? Councillor Wright, first of all, do you have a seconder?
Yes, Councillor Huntley.
Okay. Do you want to speak to this?
Thank you, Mayor. I'll just read out the reason for amendment, which is pretty straightforward. And the amendment, which has been circulated to everyone, is the addition or adding the words "and request the Bushfire Advisory Committee to consider increasing the membership by 2 additional council members." This gives the opportunity for other councillors who are not on the Wanneroo/Dundebar Local Emergency Management Committee to also take an interest in bushfire and brigade matters. And the reason for the reason why it's been worded like that, and Governance and Legal have advised me, because it's under the Bushfires Act, apparently council cannot do that decision. It needs to come from the Bushfires Committee itself to recommend 2 additional councillors. So it's basically asking them to review their terms of reference, and hopefully that decision can then come to us after that. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, are there any speakers against this amendment? Oh, Councillor Huntley, would you like to speak to this?
No, I think Councillor Wright has summed it up quite nicely. Thank you.
Any speakers against? Yes, Councillor Nguyen.
Do we have the nominees for this committee?
No, we're not going to call for nominees until we know whether the bushfires, the Bushfire Advisory Committee will allow that to happen, because it's under a different act. Okay. Any speakers against? Speakers for? Councillors, cast your vote. And that is now carried unanimously. Yep, I'll do that. Okay, so now we are going to, the item on this says that 1, we endorse the revised terms of reference for the Policy Review Committee as in attachment 3. Are there any questions on that at all? There are no questions on that. We go to 2, endorses the terms of reference for the Chief Executive Officer Performance Review Committee as shown in attachment 4. Any questions about that attachment? We now go to item 3, appoints the following members to the City of Wanneroo Audit and Risk Committee as per their terms of reference. Now, there's a few things. There's a ballot not required for this. We just need to know the councillors that want to be on it. The other thing is, after we've sorted out the councillors that want to be on it, then we'll go to the presiding member, and then I'll give a preamble before that happens. So which councillors wish to be on the Audit and Risk Committee? I've got you down already. See, Fig, Miles to go on it. We can have the whole council on there. Smith. Anyone else? Rowe. Any other councillors want to be on the Audit and Risk Committee? Every councillor is eligible if they want to choose to go on it. There is no vote, so if you want to go on the Audit and Risk, you're welcome to join it. Councillor Parker. Any other councillors on the Audit and Risk? Okay. Yes, Councillor Miles.
Yeah, thank you,
Deputy Mayor Miles.
Can I just ask, does it change the meeting? You know where I'm going.
It will, Councillor Miles, but what we'll probably need to do, I think the terms of reference are going to the next Audit and Risk Committee meeting. So once we've got the composition of the committee, we'll take it and we'll update the quorum. So, yeah, the last thing you want to do is leave vacant positions because it's going to make it really difficult to get your quorum. So we'll reduce those numbers accordingly.
Okay, at this point in time, the members of the Audit and Risk Committee are myself, Councillor Wright, Councillor Seif, Councillor Figg, Deputy Mayor Miles, Councillor Smith, Councillor Rowe, Councillor Parker, and we also have the independent members, Mr Philip Draber and Ms Shoma Zulsdorf. Now, moving forward, we need to nominate the presiding member and the deputy presiding member. I understand that Mr Draver has been nominated for the presiding member by Councillor Rowe. Now, the reason he's done this is, first of all, they're already on the committee. They've already been attending the committee, and there will be a change of legislation. And so what that means is the transition and having to vote from presiding member to another presiding member would make it smoother for doing that. So Mr Draber has been nominated as presiding member. Do we have any other nominations for presiding member of the Audit and Risk Committee? If there are no other nominations for the presiding member of the Audit and Risk Committee, Mr Draber is the presiding member. Do we have any nominations for deputy presiding member?
Mayor, I'll nominate Ms Zulsdorf because in line with those regulations, as soon as it takes effect, we would be non-compliant if we don't have the independent members in both the presiding and deputy presiding role.
Okay. Do we have any nominations for the deputy presiding role? Yes. Do you have a question, Councillor Moore?
I was just going to ask, do we want to ask Hugh if he wants to be on it or not? Because he wasn't in the room.
Hugh, do you want to be on the Audit and Risk Committee?
Sorry, can I just, I mean, I've been away for a while, but can I just check, is it still the case that all councillors are on the Audit Committee? Or
They have the option whether they want to be on the Audit and Risk Committee, and all of the councillors can choose, but they don't all have to choose to be on Audit and Risk.
All right. And
the names of those who are on there are Councillor Wright, Councillor Seave, Councillor Figg, Deputy Mayor Miles, myself, Councillor Smith, Councillor Rowe, Councillor Parker, and we have two presiding officers, which are two independent people, which are in line with the Local Government Act.
so, sorry, just another question to clarify, if I may. So I've just been told that the structure now is different from what it used to be, in the sense that there's two external chair. Is that right?
That's according to the legislation, yes.
Yeah, and then the councillors are on it as committee members.
Just to be very clear, Councillor Nguyen, the legislation hasn't come into effect yet, but it's imminent, I believe, before Christmas. I'm looking at the former Deputy Councillor Rowe. That's the indication that we've been given. So what the councillors talked about when you're out of the room was, I guess, just getting ahead of those particular reforms, making sure that we are compliant ahead of those reforms. Mr Draber and Ms Zultov have been nominated as both the presiding, Mr Draber and Ms Zultov, the deputy presiding member at this point in time.
And sorry, one other question. So the two chair persons, are they, who appoints them? Are they accountants, or what's?
Sorry, the Audit and Risk Committee has appointed them previously, so they have already been members of our committee, probably for the last 5 months. So they are already established members on the committee. So they have been through a full recruitment process and have been endorsed by both the Audit and Risk Committee and Council in terms of their appointments.
And if I may, how often are the meetings?
6 times a year.
So, Councillor Nguyen, would you like to be on this committee or not?
No, I'll pass. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, so now we're going to the deputy presiding member, Shoma Zulsdorf. Do we have any other councillor who wants to be the deputy presiding member? If there are no other councillors, then we will take Shoma Zulsdorf as the deputy presiding member. Okay, item 5, myself and Councillor Bedworth are on the Bushfire Committee, and until the Bushfire Committee advises us according to the amendment, we can decide on if there's any members, if they allow that. 6, appoints the following council members to the City of Wanneroo to the Chief Executive Officer Performance Review Committee as per their terms of reference. I'm on that committee, and 4 councillor members. We have received nominations from Councillor Smith, Councillor Bedworth, Councillor Berry and Councillor Wright, I think. Is that correct? Are there any other councillors that want to be on the CEO Performance Review Committee as per the terms of reference? So Deputy Mayor Miles. Anyone else? And Councillor Seif. And Councillor Rowe. So for the 4 positions, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we will have to go for a ballot for that. Okay, so we'll just go through and see if we don't have to do ballots for some of them. So item 7 appoints under section 5.12 of the... Oh, sorry, yes, we do. Item 8 appoints the following council members to the City of Wanneroo Policy Review Committee as part of their terms of reference. That is a maximum of 15 councillors. There's myself on it. We've received nominations from Councillor Smith and Councillor Berry. And Councillor Wright. Any other councillors want to be on the Policy Review Committee? Okay, so we've got Councillor Rowe, Councillor Moore. Sorry. Councillor Figg, Councillor Bedworth, Deputy Mayor Miles. Anyone else wants to be on the Policy Committee? Councillor Seif. So that won't need to go for a ballot, but we will go for a ballot for the presiding member later. Oh. So now we go to item 10, appoints the following members to the City of Wanneroo Revenue Review Committee as per their terms of reference. And once again, every councillor can get on that. So I'm on it, Councillor Smith, Councillor Berry. Councillor Wright, you wanted to be on this committee, didn't you? Okay, which other councillors? So I'll work around the room. Councillor Figg, Councillor Bedworth, Deputy Mayor Miles. Any other councillors on this committee? This is the City of Wanneroo Revenue Review Committee. Councillor Seif. Anyone else? Okay, so we'll look at the presiding member, the other member later after we've done this. Appoints following council members to the City of Wanneroo Waste Avoidance and Resource Advisory Committee as per their terms of reference. And so it's myself, it's Councillor Wright and Councillor Bedworth. We have nominations from Councillor Smith and Councillor Berry. Are there any other nominations for the City of Wanneroo? Yes, Deputy Mayor Miles. Any other nominations for these 2 positions? So because there are 3 councillors nominating for 2 positions, that will go to ballot for the last 2 positions. Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't see that down the bottom there. So there's 1 space left if anyone wants to go on the Waste Committee. If no one wants to take it, we'll work with the people on it at the moment. Okay, so we'll go back to the ballots and to the nominations for the deputies. So I think we're at item 6 and we're looking at the Chief Executive Officer Performance Review Committee. We have 4 positions and we've had nominations from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we will need to go for ballot for this.
Okay, councillors, the successful councillors being appointed to the CEO Performance Review Committee. Obviously, the Mayor is on there, and then it will be Councillor Miles, Councillor Berry, Councillor Wright and Councillor Rowe.
Okay, so we now go to item 7, points under section 5.12 of the Local Government Act 1995. The following council members as the presiding member and deputy presiding member of the Chief Executive Performance Review. Do we have any nominations? Because the deputy presiding members were nominations were Councillor Smith and Councillor Bedworth. Have Councillor Miles any other nominations for the presiding member? If there are no other nominations for the presiding member,
Sorry, Madam.
Yep.
Can I just ask a question? So these are 2 additional, or are they from?
They're from that group.
Okay.
Yep. And if no one nominates for the deputy, I'm happy to nominate for the deputy. Deputy Mayor Rowe. Miles, sorry. Miles. Okay. He's Deputy Mayor Miles.
Adjusting. So that was uncontested.
That was uncontested. And I'm going up as the deputy presiding member because there's no contestation for that. We now go to the presiding member of the City of Wanneroo Policy Review Committee. Do I have any nominations for presiding member of that? I've got Deputy Mayor Rowe, Councillor Wright and Councillor Berry.
Sorry,
Yep.
I've got a question. If you go back to 7, where you've just said you're going to make yourself the deputy presiding member, it says deputy presiding member nominations received from Councillor Smith and Councillor Bedworth.
But they're not eligible on the committee. They didn't get voted on the committee. They have to be on the committee to be eligible for that role. So I've got Councillor Rowe. I've got Councillor Wright nominating for the presiding member of the Policy Review Committee.
I'll withdraw, Mayor.
Okay, do I have any other nominations for the Policy Review Committee for the chair? Councillor Wright. So for the deputy presiding member, do I have any nominations for the Policy Review Committee? Okay, and Councillor Bedworth is nominated as... No? Do you want it?
I'll withdraw in favour of Councillor
Okay. Bedworth. Councillor Bedworth. Oh. Councillor Bedworth. Okay, we now go to the Wanneroo Revenue Review Committee for the presiding member. So we've had a nomination for the deputy presiding member for Councillor Smith. Do I have a nomination for the presiding member? Councillor Figg. Any other nominations? If there are no other nominations, Councillor Figg. But the deputy presiding member, I have a nomination from Councillor Smith. Any other nominations? If there are no other nominations, the deputy presiding member will be Councillor Smith. We now go to the City of Wanneroo Waste Avoidance and Resource Recovery. Now, I've had a talk between Councillor Parker and Councillor Seif. I think they've worked... Is Councillor Seif becoming filling the last position on the waste avoidery? Okay, so Councillor Seif is now on that. She's accepted that role. I would like... Councillor Smith has nominated to be the presiding member of the waste avoiding, the deputy. Who would like to nominate for the presiding member of the Waste Avoidance Committee? Councillor Wright, any other nominations for the presiding? Okay, so that goes to Councillor Wright. Councillor Smith has nominated as the deputy. Do I have any other councillors to nominate as the deputy of this committee? Okay, so item 14 confirms that these will remain in effect. So going back, I need a mover and seconder, and I will start at the beginning and work my way through, and that which includes Councillor Wright's amendment. Okay. Okay, so a mover and seconder for SCE 03-1025, including Councillor Wright's amendment, which is to write a letter to the and request that the Bushfire Advisory Committee consider increasing the membership by 2 additional council members for the City of Wanneroo Bushfire Advisory Committee as per their terms of reference. Also, it is for item 1, endorsements, the revised terms of reference for the Policy Review Committee as shown in attachment 3. 2, endorses the terms of reference for the Chief Executive Officer Performance Review Committee as shown in attachment 4. 3, appoints the following members to the City of Wanneroo Audit and Risk Committee as per their terms of reference. That is the Mayor, Councillor Wright, Councillor Seave, Councillor Figg, Councillor Miles, Councillor Smith, Councillor Rowe, Councillor Parker, and Philip Draber as the external, and Shoma Zulsdorf. Item 4, appoints under section 5.12 of the Local Government Act 1995 the following council members or external members. We need to take council out of there and make that the following members as the presiding member and deputy presiding member of the Audit and Risk Committee. Mr Draber as the presiding member and Ms Shoma Zulsdorf as the deputy presiding member. Item 5 confirms the following council members are on the City of Wanneroo Bushfire Advisory Committee as per their terms of reference, remembering Councillor Wright's amendment, which I mentioned in the beginning. So the appointed is myself, the Mayor, and Councillor Bedworth. Then item 6 appoints the following council members to the City of Wanneroo to the Chief Executive Officer Performance Review Committee as per their terms of reference. That is myself, the Mayor, Councillor Miles, Councillor Berry, Councillor Wright, Councillor Rowe. Appoints under section 5.12 of the Local Government Act 1995 the following council members as the presiding member and deputy presiding member of the Chief Executive Performance Review Committee. That is Councillor Miles, the presiding member, and myself as the deputy presiding member. We now appoint also the following council members to the City of Wanneroo Policy Review Committee as per their terms of reference. That is myself, Councillor Smith, Councillor Berry, Councillor Wright, Councillor Rowe, Councillor Moore, Councillor Figg, Councillor Bedworth, Deputy Mayor Miles and Councillor Seave. Item 9 appoints under section 5.12 of the Local Government Act 1995 the following council members as the presiding member and deputy presiding member of the Policy Review Committee. The presiding member is Councillor Wright and the deputy presiding member is Councillor Bedworth. Item 10 appoints the following council members to the City of Wanneroo Revenue Review Committee as per their terms of reference. That is myself, the Mayor, Councillor Smith, Councillor Berry, Councillor Wright, Councillor Figg, Councillor Bedworth, Councillor Miles, Councillor Seave. Item 11 appoints under section 5.12 of the Local Government Act 1995 the following council members as the presiding member and deputy presiding member of the Revenue Review Committee, which is Councillor Figg as the presiding member and Councillor Smith as the deputy presiding member. Item 12 appoints the following council members to the City of Wanneroo Waste Avoidance and Resource Recovery Advisory Committee as per their terms of reference. That is myself, the Mayor, Councillor Wright, Councillor Bedworth, Councillor Smith, Councillor Berry, Councillor Miles and Councillor Seave. The presiding member under 5.12 of the Local Government Act 1995 is Councillor Wright and the deputy presiding member is Councillor Smith. Do I have a mover and seconder for all of that? Okay, Councillor Berry and Councillor Seave. Councillor Berry, you want to speak to this?
No, thank you, Madam Mayor.
Councillor Seave?
No, thank you.
Councillors, cast your vote. And that is passed unanimously, noting that 2 councillors are out of the room. We now go to SCE 04, appointment of delegates and deputy delegates to the City's internal working and advisory groups. So, 1, that Council appoints the following council members to the City of Wanneroo working and advisory groups as per their terms of reference. The Business and Tourism Advisory Group, myself is on it, and there are 3 councillors. Any councillors that want to nominate for the tourism, business tourism, and so Councillor Wright and Parker. Anyone else? And Councillor Bedworth. Are there any other councillors? Okay, so Wright, Parker, Bedworth, and as there are no other councillors, there doesn't need to be a ballot. We now go to Community Safety Working Group. We've received nominations from Councillor Smith and Councillor Berry, and I am on this group. Are there any other councillors that want to nominate for this? So Councillor Wright, any other councillors that want to nominate for the Community Safety Working Group? Councillor Miles, any other councillors that want to nominate for the Community Safety Working Group? Okay, we will have to go for a ballot for this, and we'll come back to that one.
Sorry, Mayor. We changed the terms of reference last time where it's a minimum of 2 delegates up to 15. So for that community safety, there's a administration error.
It's not admitted on my run sheet.
It's just the minimum, so we don't need.
Okay.
We've got the 2.
Okay, so we've got 4. Any other councillors want to be on this? Okay, so we've got Rowe. So we've got Councillor Rowe, Councillor Smith, Councillor Berry, Councillor Wright, and Councillor Miles. Any other councillors want to go on the Community Safety Working Group? Councillor Seif. And anyone else? If there's no one else, we have myself, Councillors Rowe, Berry, Smith, Wright, Miles and Seif. We now go to the Environmental Advisory Group. We've got up to 3 delegates. We have received a nomination from Councillor Huntley. Are there any other nominations for this group? Deputy Mayor Miles, anyone else? Okay, so there's 1 spare spot in this one. So we've got Councillor Huntley and Deputy Mayor Miles. We now go to the Festival, Awards and Cultural Events FACE Advisory Group. We've received nominations from Councillor Berry, and we can have up to 7 delegates. So there's... Oh, yeah, I've got Councillor Smith and Councillor Berry. Yep. Yeah. And so it's the Mayor and up to 7 delegates. Do I have any other anyone? Councillor Parker. Anyone else? Rowe. Anyone else? Seif. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's two more spaces before you go to a ballot.
On the next page.
And I've got Councillor Miles. Okay. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Yeah. So we've got 7. We've got Councillor Smith, Councillor Berry, Councillor Parker, Councillor Rowe, Councillor Seif, Councillor Coetzee, and Deputy Mayor Miles. Is that so? That okay? So we'll put them in. The Multicultural Group, Advisory Group, we've received a nomination from Councillor Smith. We've got the Mayor and up to 3 delegates. Do I have nominations other than Councillor Smith for the Multicultural Advisory Group? Councillor Parker? Anyone else for that group? Councillor Seif. So we have 3 councillors on that group. We've got Councillor Seif, Councillor Smith and Councillor Parker. So Ni Katagini Court has up to 3 delegates. We've had a nomination from Councillor Smith. Are there any other nominations for Ni Katagini Court? That's Councillor Rowe. Any other, Berry, any other nominations? And Councillor C. This will have to go to a vote because we've only got 3 positions and there's 4 nominations. Okay, so therefore we've got Councillor Rowe, Councillor Berry and Councillor Seave. Thank you, Rowe. Now for the Roadwise Advisory Group, we've got a minimum of 3 delegates. We've received a nomination from Councillor Berry. Are there any other nominations for the Roadwise Group? Councillor Parker. Councillor Wright. Any other nominations? And Councillor Figg. So that says need at least 3 nominations, so a minimum of 3 delegates, so we can go to the 4. So we've got Councillor Berry, Parker.
Mayor, I am happy to withdraw. As I was just advised, the meeting is in the morning and I'm usually unavailable.
Okay. Figg. Okay, we now go to the Wanneroo Town Centre Advisory Group, which is myself and up to 4 delegates. So we have a nomination from Councillor Huntley. Do we have any other nominations? We have Councillor Wright, Deputy Mayor Miles. Anyone else for the Town Centre, Wanneroo Town Centre Advisory Group?
Mayor, I know it's not out of standard procedure. Can we nominate Councillor Moore as one of the Central Ward councillors? She was also on it last time.
We need to get her consent. You can ring her, but we have to have her consent. We can't do it without her consent. Yeah, that'd be good. It's okay. So Councillor Moore has nominated as well. Are there any more nominations? I know that's the 4. I'm just asking the question. There are no more nominations. So the Wanneroo Town Centre Advisory Group is myself, Councillor Huntley, Deputy Mayor Miles, Councillor Wright and Councillor Moore. We now go to the Yanchep Coastal Management Advisory Group. We have 5 delegates and myself. We've received nominations from Councillor Coetzee and Councillor Berry. Are there any other nominations for the Yanchep Coastal Management Advisory Group? Councillor Figg. Any other nominations? There are 5 positions and we have 3 councillors. Deputy Mayor Miles and Councillor Parker. If there are no other nominations, that fills it quite nicely. So that is myself, Councillor Coetzee, Councillor Berry, Councillor Figg, Deputy Mayor Miles and Councillor Parker. So I will run through this and then I will need a mover and seconder for the internal groups. So this is SE 041025, appointment of delegates and deputy delegates to the city's internal working groups. That's a typo. Yeah, I thought so. Appointment of delegates to the city's working groups and advisory groups internal. Recommendation, so we'll just take the deputy delegates out of the title and the end, because that's out of the title. So I'll reiterate that. It's SCEO 41025, appointment of delegates to the city's internal working and advisory groups. Recommendation that Council 1 appoints the following council members to the City of Wanneroo working advisory groups as per their terms and reference. A, the Business and Tourism Advisory Group, the Mayor, Councillor Wright, Councillor Parker, Councillor Bedworth. The Community Safety Working Group, the Mayor, Councillor Rowe, Councillor Berry, Councillor Smith, Councillor Wright, Deputy Mayor Rose, Councillor Seif, Deputy Mayor Miles, Councillor Seif. The Environmental Advisory Group, Councillor Huntley and Councillor Miles, there's a vacancy on that group. The Festival Awards and Cultural Events Advisory Group is the Mayor, Councillor Smith, Councillor Berry, Councillor Parker, Councillor Rowe, Councillor Seif, Councillor Coetzee and Deputy Mayor Miles. The Multicultural Advisory Group is the Mayor, Councillor Seif, Councillor Smith and Councillor Parker. Katagini Court Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Advisory Group is Councillor Rowe, Councillor Berry and Councillor Seif. The Rosewise Advisory Group is Councillor Berry, Councillor Parker and Councillor Figg. The Wanneroo Town Centre Advisory Group is myself, Councillor Huntley, Councillor Miles, Councillor Wright, Councillor Moore. And the Yanchep Coastal Management Advisory Group is myself, Councillor Coetzee, Councillor Berry, Councillor Figg, Deputy Mayor Miles and Councillor Parker. And item 2 on this motion confirms that all appointments will remain in effect until the next ordinary local government election day, being the 16th of October, unless otherwise indicated. Do I have a mover and seconder for this move? Deputy Mayor Miles. Seconded Councillor Figg. Deputy Mayor Miles, would you like to speak to this? Councillor Figg, would you like to speak to this? Any speakers against it? If there are no speakers against it, councillors, cast your vote. So that is passed unanimously. We now go to item 5, confidential. There is nil. Item 6, to be tabled. There is nil. The date of the next meeting, the next council member agenda briefing has been scheduled for 6 p.m. on the 11th of November 2025 and to be held at Council Chamber, Civic Centre, 23 Dundebar Road, Wanneroo. Thank you for your attendance, and I now declare the special council meeting closed at 21:16. Thank you.